Alright, okay, so second text, straight line graphs. Let's rock and roll through this ASAP. So which of this is a sketch of, excuse me, y equals -4 plus 5x? What features are we looking for? Julia?
A gradient that's going up
Okay, why?
because it's a positive number.
Which
And
number
it should-
is, which number tells you the gradient?
5.
Okay, so we know that the gradient is 5. Okay, so you know it's
It's a positive slope.
positive slope. Lovely. What else are we looking for?
That it crosses through the y-intercept at -4.
Okay, so the y-intercept is at -4. So we need to look at our diagrams. Well, obviously, if it crosses at -4, it's not this one and it's not this one. Okay, so we're looking at either this one or this one. And if it's got a positive gradient, it must be C. Trust me, hands? Oh, wunderbar. Number 2, the straight line L has the equation y equals 3x minus 4. Write down an equation of a line that's parallel to L that passes through the origin. Now, the word origin has been used during our lessons. We can go back to the videos if necessary. Well, hopefully, even if it hasn't been, we should know what the origin is. What is the origin?
0,
0, 0. Cheers, hands. Okay, so if it's parallel to it, what do we know about the line? Same gradient. What is the gradient of this one?
3.
So we know it's going to be y equals 3x plus something, but it's going through the point 0, 0, so the 0 equals 3 lots of 0 plus c, so c is 0, so it's just y equals 3x. Okay? Oh, I need to turn my phone off. That's awkward. Find an equation of the straight line that passes through 0, 5 and is perpendicular to L. Okay, so what's the perpendicular gradient of it going to be?
The negative reciprocal.
The negative reciprocal, which is?
Negative 1 over 3.
So we're going to have y equals -1 over 3x plus c. Who's talking? If it goes through the point 0, 5, you're then going to substitute those values in, remember? So 5 equals -1/3 times 0 plus c, so c is 5. And so our equation is y equals -1/3 x plus 5. Okay? Ideally, at this level, we should recognize that when a coordinate is a 0 something, that tells us the y-intercept straight away. So you shouldn't really need to substitute in, but obviously you can at any time. Okay, let's move on quickly. Straight line, y equals 2x minus 5. Find an equation of straight line that's perpendicular to it. So again, it's another perpendicular line. So, Danny, what would I do?
Well, we would first start. Actually, no, I got this wrong.
Okay, we just did one of these, Angel. That's why I asked
I
you.
got it wrong.
I appreciate that.
Y equals.
Did you understand what we just did here? Part B. Were you listening?
Yeah, I get it. I do. That's like.
So, when we're going through this, am I going to be annoyed that you didn't understand this? Or do I need to know that you didn't understand this? Which of those options do we think is happening here?
Is that a trick question? Annoying?
I'm going to be annoyed if you don't understand this.
I mean, the other one.
What was the other one?
No, that's
Do you need to tell me that you don't understand?
Yes.
Okay? Because if you don't say anything, if I say, right, moving on, I'm going to think everyone understands this.
Yeah.
Okay? And so when I go to a next question that's super similar to this, and I ask someone, I'm going to expect them to be able to at least start the question if they can't finish it. And that's whether they've got it right on their paper or not. Are you with me? That's the whole reason that we go through past paper, so the test papers. so that you can make sure that you understand stuff. And if you're not taking responsibility, and this goes for all of you girls, if you're not taking responsibility to actually ask questions now, when are you going to do it? Otherwise, it's just a waste of everybody's time. And I may as well just go, right, articulated, these are the answers. Okay? Right, which part of this did you not understand, or do you think secretly it was because you weren't listening?
So,
Right, okay. So, Hayley, you in the same boat here?
yeah.
Right. So, what was the gradient of this line here?
3.
How do you know that?
Because you can count it.
It has the X.
Yeah.
The 3 has the x next to it, yes? So what would a perpendicular gradient to that one be?
Negative
Negative what?
fraction. Reciprocal.
-3.
Not negative 3,
Negative 1/3.
negative 1/3. Remember, it's the negative reciprocal, Hayley. Okay,
I
so
will
this
switch
one was
it.
3,
I get
that's
it.
equally 3 over 1. So this perpendicular gradient would be negative 1/3. Okay, so we know it's going to be y equals negative 1/3 x plus c. You then substitute in the coordinates so as establish what c is, and then you put that value back. Okay, so Danny, this one.
My perpendicular gradient is negative 1/2. And I would do the equation y equals 1 negative 1/2 times 2 negative 2
Not yet. Just go with the basic equation first. So it's negative 1/2
x
x
plus c.
plus c. Okay. Now substitute in the values.
3 equals negative 1/2 times negative 2 plus 3.
So what's negative 1/2 times negative 2?
Negative 1.
Careful. Negative times a negative.
Positive 1.
Okay. So 3 equals 1 plus c.
Subtract the 1, subtract the 1. C equals 2.
So our equation is
Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2.
okay. Happy with that? Hayley, did you follow that?
Yeah, I
Do I
get
need
it.
to ask you all individually if you follow it, or are we going to just tell Miss Harrison if we don't get it?
Yep.
Promise?
Yep.
Okay. So A has coordinates 11, 3e, B has coordinates 1, 7e. The midpoint has the coordinates x, y. Find the value of x. So we need to remember about midpoints. How do we find midpoints? What is a midpoint? Julia?
It's the middle of the line.
Middle of the line or the middle of 2 points?
2 points,
Yes.
yeah.
So how do we do that? Do we remember?
You do x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2, over 2.
Good. And we remember that coordinates come x first and then y. So it was a clue here that they had the x first then the y, so you need to make sure you're remembering that. So x, if we're finding the value of x, it means that we're going to be doing 11 plus 1 divided by 2. You're happy with that?
Yeah.
And 11 plus 1 is
12,
divided by 2 is
6.
okay, done. Find an expression. Now, why is it an expression for y and not a value? Fran? Good. Because both of these parts of this coordinate are in terms of e, yes? So you can't find just a number. You can't do it the same way. So but the method is exactly the same. So it's going to be 3e plus, let's say 7e?
Yeah.
Over 2. Well, what's 3e plus 7e?
10e.
10e over 2. Now, this here, so simplify your answer, indicating that some simplification should happen. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I did simplify, I added my 3e and my 7e, check me out, I'm awesome. Always need to make sure you're looking to see if anything else can happen. So we've got 10e divided by 2. What's that?
5e.
5e. Treasure. Okay? Yes.
What do you mean by in terms of e?
Okay, if something says in terms of e, that means your answer will have an e in it.
Okay.
Ladies, stop with the switch, please. Who said that, Slady?
Yep. I thought that, well, no, okay, I didn't forget. So I thought that you couldn't divide them by each other because the 2e doesn't have an e
If
by
this
it.
said 10 plus e divided by 2, you would be totally correct. Remember, these are multiplying, so you can do it. Remember that now? Any other questions about that? Good. We're holding on our promise that we're asking you for. Oh,
I am bleeding. May I please go to the bathroom?
right. For the video, I think she's got a spot of blood on her finger rather than everything's gushing. And
Rather than Elsa has just ravagely attacked Julia.
Right. So we've got a diagram here. They've kindly plotted our two coordinates for us. So 0, -1, and 4, 5. They've asked us for the gradient of it. So how do we find gradients? Let's say rise over running. Thank you, Julia, for shouting out. So it's rise
Equals 1.5.
over run. So we would find the measure or distance from one point to another. So our rise would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our run would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So
6 over
6 and
4 equals 2 over 3.
3 over 2. 3 over 2 or 1.5 is fine. Right. An equation. We know that's our gradient, so we know it's going to be y equals 3 over 2x plus c. Is that a proper equation?
No.
Sorry.
So Erin, what do we need to do?
Yeah, just like C.
How do we do that?
You have to set
Or what can we do?
You can just look up your computer.
Could we look at the diagram?
Yeah, see, my dumb self just had
Yes.
Okay, Elsa, little.
So what would, looking at the diagram, Esther, what would the y-intercept be? Okay, so we can see crosses there at -1, so it's going to be y equals 3 over 2x minus 1. Find an equation line that's parallel to that. So we've talked about parallel lines. They need to have what kind of gradient? So it's going to be y equals 3 over 2x plus c. And Hayley, your turn this time.
So then we're finding a negative reciprocal.
No, excellent. This one's parallel. So I've helped you out and I've already told you that the gradient is the same.
Okay, so 1.5
3 over 2, same thing.
or 3 over 2 times by 4. So 5 equals,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Find the equation of the line which is parallel to L and passes through the point -2, 0. We're on this one, sweetheart.
oh,
Are you with me?
yeah. So, so y equals mx plus c, that's the equation.
Okay, so that's what we've got here.
So-
We put our m
so-
value in as 3 over 2.
So 0 equals 1 or 3 over 2 times -2
Good girl.
plus c.
Good.
So
So that's secretly -2 over 1, yes? So that's 0. Obviously, we've got our calc, so you could be using that. So it's top times top, bottom times bottom. So what's 3 times -2?
-6 over
Over 2.
2,
What's that?
3 over 1,
Which is 3, yeah?
3, yeah,
So, but
3.
It's negative.
So 0 equals 3 plus c,
With negative
-3 plus c. So then you would have to plus 3 on both sides. So 3 equals c.
Yep. So our equation, going back to finishing the question, is y equals 3 over 2x.
Minus,
Careful.
plus c.
Plus what?
3.
Yeah. Okay? Yes? Good? Oh, back to some review stuff. Factorising. I actually was quite pleased with the reviewing, to be fair. And Miss Rossa, how do we factorise this bad boy? What does it look like?
I didn't get that one.
Okay, so let's see if we can remember. What kind of expression is this?
Don't you have to first like look at this x squared and then put like x in front of each of them?
Yes? So what's our answer going to look like? It's going to have 1 bracket, 2 brackets, 7 brackets? And then what do? We have to decide what goes at the end.
I got this right.
I don't know. I was
Can I do it?
No recollection whatsoever. Even looking at it going,
Yeah.
Haley Moss can do it.
okay, so do you want to phone a friend?
Sure.
Haley Moss.
I don't hear any of
Haley Moss. She's
Julia.
Elsa.
Yes. Savage. So,
Ew, that was disgusting.
what you would do
Calm down.
is you would say what multiples goes equals 48, and adds
It's
goes
not, it's negative 48.
negative 48, and what adds equals 2. So, you know that
Danny.
that one of your factors is going to have to be negative, because
Yeah.
negative times positive is a negative.
Yeah.
So, you can kind of list your factors, but it would be negative 8 minus 6. 8, wait. I'm like blanking now. Negative 6 plus 8. Yes. Yes. So, you x plus 8 and then x minus 6. That's great.
Oh, wait, that makes sense.
You remember that, Miss Roger?
Trinomials.
I know that.
Transparent. Alright, next one is solve this bad boy. We've got a fraction equals a number. How do we solve this?
I did not get this
Gabby?
right.
Well, try and do it from the board then. Try not to read. Tell me what to do.
So I always write it out like first, but yeah. So then you would do so could you just write it with the equation out again? It just helps me to solve the thing. Never mind. Wait.
Now I don't know what it is.
I'm so confused. Can I?
Alright, do you want to? Miss Rosa has her hand up. Should we ask her?
Yeah. Okay, so what I did is I looked at the k take away 2 and the 3 and I swapped them. I don't know, that's what I did. Or I timed it. I timed the 3.
Good, because we have a fraction on this side, yes, ladies? So we need to get rid of this fraction. So to do that, we have to multiply both sides by the denominator. So we're going to multiply by both sides by k minus 2. So we've got k.
Oh, I did. Did I
Yes, you did, darling. That.
No.
No?
No.
No, I didn't do
I
that.
switched, no, yeah, I switched the k, take away 2, and I swapped your separations, you can do that. And then from there, I had k divided by 3, and I times that by 3, which made the k take away 2 on the other side be times
Oh,
by
we
3.
going so
What is
Bye.
this?
Can I go on the board and show you?
Okay. No, darling, let's just keep going with this. So you multiply both
Yeah.
sides by 3.
And then from there, and it's k is equal to 3k, take away 6. And then from there, I swapped the 6 with the k. I swapped them. I swapped the negative 6 with the k, which made a positive 6 on that side. And I had 3k, which made the other k, which swapped with the 6.
Darling, I've written it.
Negative k.
Yes, thank you.
And then from there, you have to divide by...
Not yet, sweetheart.
Goodbye. Where you
Where
going, girl?
Look on the board, Ava, look on the board.
Sweetheart, this is what you got. So you got 6 equals 3k.
Oh, it's going to be 2k is equal to 6. And then you divide by 2 to get just k by itself, which is 3.
Good. Alternatively, you could have done what I said and get rid of our denominator. So we've got k equals 3 lots of k minus 2. So k is 3k minus 6. Again, so once you're at this step here, you can keep everything else. Oh, sorry, that step there. Everything else is the same. Okay?
Miss Harrison?
Yes.
Oh, I should have crossed this one then.
That's fine. That's essentially what I did.
Oh,
It's like 2.
All right, this one here, we've got one fraction plus another fraction. Is it equal to something?
That's fraction.
It's not equal to something, so all they've asked you to do is to simplify
That's
it
right.
to indicate they want it as a
Can I do it?
fraction. Okay?
I got it right.
Although Sydney has had her hand up longer, unless you ask me a question. No.
one fraction by x minus 4. Top and down. And
Yeah.
right times the right by x plus 2. Which got me x minus 4 over x minus 4 times x plus 2. I didn't solve it.
Expand it.
I didn't expand it, sorry.
That's okay. You didn't need to.
Yeah, and from there did I just repeat the same? Oh no, I simplified it. So I simplified the right one, so it was 8x plus 16 top, and then I just added the top together, so it got me 9x plus 12 over 4x minus x minus 4 times x.
Good, I'm just going to put this step in, x minus 4 plus 8x plus 16. Lots of people got to this point and they just made mistakes when you're joining like terms, okay? So you've got to be really careful that you're looking at signs of stuff. So we had x and 8x, so people were quite happy that that was 9x, but you've got negative 4 plus 16, so that's positive 12. Expanding the bottom, if you're going to expand the bottom, please make sure you're doing it properly, otherwise you're going to lose marks for it, okay? How do you expand two brackets? Foil, okay, so you've got to have that middle term. It's not just going to be x squared minus 8, okay, so people will make a mistake. And if you're not super confident in expanding brackets, don't do it. Just write x minus 4, x plus 2. Okay, that was totally fine. Next one. Okay, so it's x squared minus 5x minus 6 over x squared minus 81. Simplify fully. Well, if you're simplifying a fraction, what do you need to make sure that what format should it be in? Well, that's not asked. Okay, you should put it into brackets because the only way we're allowed to cancel things out is if they are multiplied by something, yes? Now, anyone that did this deserves to be run round this room and beaten with a stick, okay? So if you did that and you're like, oh, I'm so good at maths, please beat yourself up. Okay, because that is one of the rules that send Miss Harrison crazy. Okay, so we're trying to factorize. So we're looking for two brackets. I'm going to have to do this, but just you need to go for speed. So we're trying to multiply it to give negative 36 and add to give negative 5. So that is going to be negative 9 and positive 4. Okay. X squared minus 81, that's a special quadratic, yes? How do we factorize that bad boy?
It's not like the difference of two squares.
It's the difference of two squares, so it's going to be x at the front, and it's going to be what at the end?
Minus 9 and plus 4.
Minus 9 and plus 9, okay? Then we've got that bracket is the same, so our final answer is x plus 4 over x plus 9. Can we do that?
No.
Good. Alright, almost halfway through, shiver me timbers. Right, find the equation of a line that passes through the points blah 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 and blah blah blah. Give your answer in this form. I don't know if anyone got the full marks for this. Alright, ladies. Shh. I just said I'm not sure if. Okay? So, first things first, whenever we're given 2 points, we need to find the gradient. So we find the gradient by doing change in y over change in x. So 5 take away 2 over negative 3 take away 1, which is 3 over negative 4, so that's negative 3/4. If you did 2 minus 5 over 1 minus 3, you would have just got the same answer. Okay, so negative 3/4 is my gradient. So we've got y equals negative 3/4 plus x plus c. What do we do now, Hayley?
Pardon?
What do we do now? So we found our gradient. What do we do now? What part are we
Find
missing?
C.
We need to find C. How do we do that? You did it earlier.
Which ones?
You can put it up.
Does it matter which of
So,
these coordinates you use?
No.
No, you can use either.
So 5 equals negative 3 over 4, negative times by negative 3 plus c.
Good go. Alright, so we've got 5 equals positive 9 over 4 plus c. C is 5, subtract 9 over 4. Well, if we're talking about quarters, this is going to be 20 over 4 minus 9 over 4, which is 11 over 4. So we've got y equals negative 3/4 x plus 11 over 4. So quite a few of you were comfortable and had that as your answer. But says it has to be left in that format. So this is where everything has to be a whole number, remember. Okay, what's the easiest way of getting rid of my fractions here? What can I do to these, Julia?
You times it by 4 because they both are over 4.
Good, because the denominator of both of these is 4, it's a nice, more straightforward one than any others. So we just multiply everything by 4. So this becomes 4y equals negative 3x plus 11. Is that in the order that they have it up here?
No, ma'am.
No, we just need to have the x and the y on the same side. So that's 3x plus 4y equals 11. Okay? Because I've added 3x to both sides. Okay, ladies, I've videoed this and I can email this to you. So I'd rather we didn't spend time going through it here. As long as you're listening and understand it, that's the most important thing. Right, this bit here, it says line 1 has this, as that equation, line 2 has this, show that it's perpendicular. There was one of these very, 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 very similar in the assignment. It could have even been exactly the same question. And if you're showing that something's perpendicular to something else, you have to identify both gradients. You cannot just identify one. So you need to tell me L1 gradient is what?
3.
Okay? Just that statement is enough to show me you know what the gradient is. L2 gradient, how do I do that? Can I just say it's 2?
No,
What do I
divide
have to
by
do?
6.
Why? We're more than that, Elsa.
Oh, you have to rearrange it.
Good. Has to be in which format?
Y equals mx plus c.
Good. So we need to take 2x from both sides to start with. So we've got 6y equals negative 2x plus 1. And then divide both sides by 6. Remember, this is the time that I've suggested you divide everything separately by 6 on the right. So we've got y equals negative 1/3 x plus 1/6. Okay?
Yep.
Does it matter that the y-intercept is a fraction? No, because we haven't been asked to plot it. So now what we do is say that the gradient of this one, negative 1/3. So we're shown to say that 3 and negative 1/3 are negative reciprocals. All 3 multiplied by negative 1/3 is negative 1. So they're perpendicular. Okay, they are your two options. Next one. On the grid, draw this graph. Okay, you've got a few different options here. You could have set yourself up a little table. Okay, and you could have put some numbers in between negative 1 and 3 and plotted those points. Some of you did that, I think. Great. Otherwise, you could spot that your y-intercept is 2. So you know you're going to be crossing here at 2. You know your gradient is 4 or 4 over 1. So from that point, you're going up 4 units across 1. This is where some of you let yourself down, and it's one thing I said you need to look out for, because the scales are different. So if I'm going up 4 units, that's going 2, 4, and across 1, because that's 1 unit. Up 4 units, across 1. And you would join up your points like that. Okay?
Using a ruler.
Using a ruler, obviously, yes. Mine is rubbish. Write down the equation. Write down the equation of a straight line that is parallel to that. Okay? If it's parallel to it, what do we know about it? Has the same gradient. So you can write y equals 4x, just that if you want. You can write y equals 4x plus 762. You can write y equals 4x minus 357. You can write anything here. Okay? You cannot write plus 2. Because that is the same equation. It's not one that's parallel to it. Okay? It sits on top of it, so it's not parallel. Anything parallel would have the value of 4 in front of the x.
Why wouldn't you put in plus C?
Because plus c is not an equation. Okay? C indicates that you don't know what that should be. So you need to show them that you know it could be anything. Write down the gradient of a straight line that's perpendicular to a line like this. Well, what would the gradient? They just want to know the gradient. So, Sydney, what would the gradient be?
The gradient, just say it.
Yep.
Okay, -4.
Lovely. Okay. I might have to stop there and we'll finish this off next lesson.
Okay.